Scarpins Avenue.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Sklarbro Country, the virus edition, aka the Pandy Pods,
aka two twins for the win,
Ooh, I like that. aka two men, one Afghan in between two men.
aka two twins, three chins.
Ooh, that was a good one. And
I'm putting on some Corona weight.
are you?
Yeah.
Someone had another good one for us, and I'm going to look it up right now. This is how we do this. Hold on. I'm going to look it up.
Yeah, I read it. I can't remember it, but I read it and I love it.
Someone had a good one. I'm looking it up right now.
We are grateful for you guys. We are grateful for the opportunity to do this show every day.
Two Jews, no tattoos. That's the truth.
Amen.
Amen. Thank you so much. We are happy to do this every day, as Jay said, and we just try and give you a little bit of a 20, 25, 30 minutes.
Let us be your dishwashing soundtrack.
Yeah. Let
your
us
laundry folding, dishwashing. Get me away from this mundane life that I'm living right now. Break. That's what we are. That's what we want to be. And we've got stories for you today. Look,
you want to fight between two ladies on Mother's Day outside of Red Lobster?
You got it.
You got it. Enjoy it.
Push.
This has to happen like every Mother's Day.
Shouldn't it be an annual thing?
At a Red Lobster? Like, you think people are going to throw down at a Red Lobster
It is
most
literally
times.
a tale as old as time.
I would have yelled hush puppy just if anybody started giving lip.
Yep.
Up in that place. There is nothing better than a Red Lobster hush puppy. And I'm saying this after not having been to a Red Lobster in over 40 years.
What is it, like fried bread? What's in a hush puppy?
I don't know.
I don't even
It's
know
like
what's in
fried, mashed stuff. It's like
So
mashed fish. It's like a southern fried gefilte fish is what I think it is.
So why do you think this happened? I mean, I know
Well,
for a
here's
fact
the
that
deal.
people are angry these
People are
days.
mad, but
I am. I'm one of those people. I'm mad.
Here's the deal with Red Lobster. Like, we don't look down our noses at Red Lobster.
Never have.
By any stretch of the imagination.
Red Lobster was the good night out for us when we were growing up.
When we were growing up, our dad used to take us to this place called Mr. Steak. And it was in St. Louis. Mr. Steak.
Mr. Steak?
Mr. Like, the guy wasn't a professional. It wasn't Dr. Steak. He didn't have a PhD in steak economics.
Mr. Steak.
Mr. Steak. That was where we went. And the kids' meal at Mr. Steak, this was a win for our dad, who just always loved getting a great deal.
But look, if I could get this for my daughter, like this is all the
Would
food
she eat it?
That'd be all she would need for the whole meal.
You ready for this? A drumstick and a peach wedge.
And a garnish, which you wouldn't eat. But
You wouldn't eat the garnish, but there was like a parsley garnish. Drumstick, peach wedge on a parsley garnish, 29 cents. 29 cents!
I don't know if it was a parsley garnish. I think it was like a little leaf. of something.
29 cents. That's how much it cost. Literally, it cost
That's mid 1970s in St. Louis.
58 cents to feed your kids. That's unbelievable. That
Even
is
back then, that's unbelievable.
That's
That's like feeding your kids for like $3 today.
I remember like the old A&W root beer was another place we would go, and they had like I remember they had a tiny mug that they would pour root beer in for us that would probably cost like a nickel.
There was a place called Lion's Choice. Lion's
so
Choice roast
good.
beef in St. Louis. Still good. Have gone there recently.
Phenomenal.
So good. And what they have is they have a 10 cent, at the time was a 5 cent.
A nickel cone, like a cone with soft serve.
And a nickel cone.
That's our lives. So Red Lobster to us was
Like we're
eating
sitting
out.
down, we're
eating
all
out.
getting a meal, everything's costing real money.
We're eating out.
People are fighting.
But people, I guess this Mother's Day, people
look,
tempers will flare.
Red Lobster is not exactly the kind of place that's designed to handle pandemic order pickup.
Well, here's the deal. They've cut their staff down. They've had to. They've let people go because this is not a time where you can keep the same number of staff on. So you're basically working with a skeleton crew that's trying to put it out. And people on Mother's Day, they didn't want to cook. So they want to order, like all the restaurants had like line of, it's going to take a long time. So if you want to order, you got to order 3 hours ahead of time. There was a 3-hour backlog. And I'm going to say this, in the fight, whoever isn't wearing a mask, I'm not on your side.
Yep.
I'm wearing a mask, I'm down with you.
By the way, restaurants are trying to do their best. They just are.
And they're regular
Can't get
people
mad.
who
They're
are that's
they're
right.
poor people, and they're people who have to work through
Right.
this.
Backlog of orders led to an altercation outside of Red Lobster in East York, Pennsylvania, East York on Mother's Day. Again, people are ordering. There are less people. It's going to be a backlog. You have to know that that's what's happening. And restaurants just trying to do their best. When things are running at full steam, like last December, I'd probably say that the ordering scenario at Red Lobster probably wasn't great.
It's probably a shit show.
A bit of one.
Yeah.
So you know what you're getting into. Don't order from there or order several hours in advance.
Yeah.
On Sunday, May 10th, the video captured a few Red Lobster employees forcefully ushering a patron outside the restaurant's main entrance. In that video, the customer demands a refund several times before swinging at an employee. I saw this.
Hey, you know what's not going to get you a refund? Taking a swing at an employee.
Yeah, that's not going to happen. And she was not wearing a mask. Let me just say that. All the employees were wearing masks, although one guy's was down below
His nose.
which someone sent a picture around of someone wearing underwear with their penis sticking over the underwear. And they said, if you're going to wear your mask right here with your nose sticking out, that's like wearing your underwear this way.
Fair.
Fair
Totally
point.
fair.
Took a swipe at him, took a swing at him. Like that would have gotten them to move her order along faster.
Yeah, let me just take a swipe at the old fry cook and see if I can't get us
see if I can't light a
bumped
fire
up
under
the
his
line.
ass.
You know
There
what I
you
mean?
go.
You saw it, so you saw the video.
I love when people try and make that move. I
Yeah.
love when people try a violent move that they still think they're going to get what they ordered.
No, I think at that point they're like, the ship's going down. I'm going to go down swinging with it.
The
I don't
sign
care.
said only employees indoors. You can't read the sign. Like the sign also said everyone wear a mask. So you clearly aren't reading signs. But like, you got to stay outside. You can't. So she tried to walk in and they pushed her out the door.
Right, fair.
Because you could contaminate all the food that's going out to everyone. Only employees who have washed, who have.
I think
had
you have
their
the right to mace that woman.
That's right.
Mace her.
Do you want to hear her quote, Jay?
Yeah.
I was assaulted and have a whole crowd to see it. You mean the crowd of people that were pushing you out because you were acting like an asshole?
Yeah, that's the crowd.
The customer in the video was recorded by a bystander. You mean before or after you threw the haymaker? You were
Or before or after you went into a place that you're not supposed to go into. And I guarantee you, they said, ma'am, you
can't come in here.
ma'am, you got to get out of here. Where's my order? Ma'am,
we can't.
we can't.
We can
keep
talk to
talking
you at the curb, and that
How
was
about
it.
you walk outside and we can have a conversation and find out where? Nope, I'm not leaving until I get my order. Well, now we got to push you out.
So she says she was assaulted
Definitely not
by a
assaulted.
crowd. Yeah. So like her saying the lie means that she's covered. That's where we're at in this country. You can just say a lie, and even if it's not true, you're like, well, that gives me the cover to do what I want. Springettsbury Township. Springettsbury Township Police responded to a 4:26 p.m. call at Red Lobster on Sunday. So, by the way, if it was going to take 3 more hours, she gets her food. She's eating at 7:30.
It's a normal time to have dinner.
You come back 3 hours later.
Come back later. And also, that feels like too long of a name for that town.
It does, doesn't it?
Springettsbury.
It should just be Springs or Springetts or Gettsbury
Or
or
Springberry.
Springberry. But Springettsbury is like
one too many syllables.
it's like someone.
Springsbury sounds right.
It's like someone w's trying to lie to their wife about where they were the night before.
Hey,
and
where were you last night?
I was out.
Where were you?
I was in Springettsbury Township.
Okay.
She bought it, right? Quote, we did respond. We talked to the people involved, said the officer of Springettsbury, meaning everyone who worked in the Red Lobster was like, yeah, this bitch is
one
crazy.
was like crazy. Yeah, she cray cray.
He said that when officers arrived, the employees seen the video were there, but the woman in the green sweatshirt without a mask had left. Police spoke to her at a nearby location. So not her house. She just was like, I want to go over here now.
Yeah, she had to get away from
Nearby location.
Probably
That's
in
when
an
you know you
office
did
park,
something
like
wrong.
blowing off
That's
steam
right. That's
nearby.
right. I love they had to just track her down. Like they had to just hunt her green sweatshirt down. She had to like maybe start a fight at an Olive Garden. Is that a nearby location?
So why was she upset?
As far as what kicked off the incident, Beam said that from watching the video, she was upset because her food wasn't ready. She wanted her money refunded. This is not Carl's Jr., lady.
Yeah,
People have to make the food.
This is Red effing Lobster.
Yeah, that popcorn shrimp takes time to pop, yo.
This isn't even Red Robin.
You can't just fire it up when you're ready for it. Oh, and also we're in a global pandemic, so service is going to be slowed. You have to account for that.
Yeah, I'm so glad you're not making any allowances for the situation that is affecting the world right now.
Beam said the restaurant was closed to patrons. Only employees were allowed inside. So this gal thought she could just waltz right in.
Yeah, without a mask.
Because she doesn't need to do she don't need no stinking mask.
No, she's entitled to her food. How dare they?
She is stronger than an invisible disease.
Yes.
She
is a disease.
She herself is a
I'm going to say this woman's behavior
she's
is
a visible disease. Maybe she thought her toxic personality could sort of form a shield and fight corona and win. The restaurant is closed. You're not allowed in there, he said. My understanding is all food is brought outside the building. Anyone who starts a sentence, my understanding is,
then that means
they're not looking for a fight. That's a dog whistle signal to be like, we're going to have a discussion right now.
Right. My understanding means I could be wrong, but we all know that no one's supposed to be in here except us.
The sentence wasn't my understanding is them's fighting words. It was my understanding is we have to bring the food out to the curbside.
These people are working in this place. They probably want to be spending time with their own mothers and their own families or their own
rather than preparing your food.
But they're doing it and they're behind because this isn't like normally a 100% takeout business. So they get all the orders at the same time. It's not like in a showroom where some people are seated and it's staggered. It all comes at once, so everyone's behind.
Yeah, there's no
and they're shorthanded.
No reason to pay them respect for trying to cook your food for you. Your money isn't enough in this situation. That's what I'm trying to say. Your money is one thing. You're paying for it, but that to me is like when
your respect is worth just as much.
Fans who go to a sporting event and think that they can spit on players
or call them names from like 4 feet away.
Yeah, and thinking, what? You can't do I paid my money.
I pay good money to be
It's like the people who go to a comedy club. Remember comedy clubs? People go to a comedy club and they're like, it's my birthday. I can talk. I paid. Well, you did, yes, you paid, and we appreciate that you paid, but you didn't pay so that you could then do this. You didn't pay your money so that then you could, if they didn't do it exactly the way you wanted in the exact moment, like that's it. Like, who does this woman think she is?
She's a baby. That's the other thing, and that is. I think that's the.
She's a baby. Well, here elsewhere, cars were backed up to pick up food at an Olive Garden in West Manchester Township. The next place this lady was going to go start throwing haymakers, and the Red Lobster restaurant has a presumed 3-hour wait for this food, according to another bystander who overheard in the video. We ask for patience and understanding when that happens, Beam said. So they're not going after people. They're asking. They're not demanding patience. They're asking for it. This woman did not take kindly to being asked politely to do anything. Nicole Bott, the director of, and is that a real person? Is that a real person?
I think she's a bot.
Director of Communications.
She couldn't identify 4 traffic lights in a photo. So I don't know that that's a person.
Director of Communications at Red Lobster provided this statement regarding Sunday's incident. We understand that we may have disappointed our guests on Mother's Day when, due to COVID-19 and changes in our operations and staffing, we were not able to keep up with demand.
That's right. That's what
locations.
I said. So what's the punishment for this lady? Let's just get to that. What is the punishment?
I don't
for
think
this lady?
Red Lobster has to apologize.
I don't think they should apologize at all.
I think this dumb idiot should apologize to them.
Thank you. Why is this woman having to like make excuses? COVID-19. We get it.
Yeah,
we know what you're up against.
Excuses. Exactly.
What is this dummy up against?
So wait, watch how the bot turns the screw. Turns the apology in a good way right here. It's always our goal to provide our guests with the great seafood experience.
Well, I wouldn't. It is
and unfortunately, for some guests, we did not meet that goal on Sunday. Again, not your fault. Blame it on COVID.
Right.
We are working to better understand what occurred and how we can prevent it occurring in the future. So that's just them bot covering bases.
Okay.
That said, here's the turn.
There's the turn.
We do not tolerate violence for any reason in our restaurants. So a lot of violence has happened at a Red Lobster.
Yeah.
So they now
enough to the point where we say we have a zero tolerance policy when it comes to violence.
Now, like before, they would allow some, but now you can't have, like before, you could throw a hot lobster butter thing at someone's
someone's eyes.
If they looked at you,
you could squeeze a lemon in someone's eyes.
That's
and then
right.
Punch them in the throat.
You could jam like a crab leg up someone's nose if
you
they
could take a crab fork and shove it into the back of someone's neck.
But at this point, they're not allowing any of it.
No.
Bot is letting everybody. No, we don't tolerate any violence.
Look at the circumstances we're in right now.
Anymore. We expect our team members to treat our guests with respect, and we expect our guests to treat our team members with respect in return. So all the team members were wearing masks, and they politely asked her not to.
This dummy was not wearing a mask, and she barged into a place that she. Like if without COVID-19, if you were waiting 10 minutes for your food and
then just walked back
into the kitchen,
you can't do that.
Where's my food?
You can't do that.
Everyone would be like, get out of here.
Yeah,
you're
get
not
out.
cleaned out, and you don't work here. Get the F out of here.
Or like walking into a surgery and being like, how come this isn't over yet? We have theater
gotta
tickets.
go.
Get the gallbladder out and let's go.
I'm annoyed. Where's my food?
We're grateful that our manager and guests involved were not seriously injured in the incident on Sunday. Yeah, that's how you get on your manager's side. Your manager actually did a good job. Anyone who's watching that video who is on the side of the green sweatshirt renegade, you don't want eating in your establishment.
That's right.
Police are investigating the incident, but no charges have been filed. I think a good punishment is this, Jay. You asked me what punishment I think would be for the lady.
Yes, I did.
She has to apologize to each employee at that Red Lobster.
Agreed.
While they get to throw beer-battered shrimp at her from close range.
That's
whip
fair.
it. I mean, just whip it at her.
In her face.
It should hurt a little bit.
This to me,
While chanting shame, 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 Game of Thrones style.
I like it. I don't know
You've
what
never
that
seen
means.
that, but
No,
you
not yet.
got to get into it.
I'm making
Jay.
into it.
You got to get into it.
But here's what I think it is, and then we'll take a break. This whatever you want to call it, pandemic is the catalyst. But I really think you go back to who the leader of this country is right now, and what he said to people is that you can be a baby.
Right.
You get to be a baby. Like we have little kids. Our little kids are not, my daughter's not even that far from the age where like if she didn't get what she wanted in a moment,
loses her
even if
brain.
it's irrational, she throws a tantrum.
And you have to teach them. You can't.
And you
do
have
that.
to like, hey, look,
hey.
I
calm
know
down.
you want what you want really badly.
We all want stuff.
But let's look at the whole scenario and then let's try to come up with a solution. And maybe it's not exactly what you want. Maybe you have to wait longer and then you get what you want. But hopefully you're going to get what you want and we're doing the best we can. That's what an adult deals with. That's how an adult deals with it. But this presidency and this pandemic is allowing people who are like, I want to be a baby.
Yeah. I
want to be a
my
baby.
food is in here. I'm not taking into consideration anything anybody
I'm
else
gonna
is
lay
doing.
down in this store and I'm gonna start screaming and yelling and ruin the experience for everybody.
Yeah. So that is our first story. People ask us, what are some podcasts we should be listening to?
Yes.
We play you voicemails as just a little teaser of some great ones. We played you a bunch this week. Got a great one for you right now. Our friends do this amazing improvisational podcast.
I love this podcast.
Holly
so
and
much.
Greg, they do just one of our favorite podcasts. It's called Mega. And essentially, it's a mega church.
Yes.
And it is improv from some of the best improvisers out there. They're friends with all the best people. They are amazing. And it is just a tour de force. So check out a voicemail they left for us. And then we'll see you on the other side of the break.
Hey guys, it's Gray from Mega the Podcast. Hey, if you listen to the pod, there's one thing you know that I talk about almost as much as I talk about Jesus, and that is CrossFit. And for those of you who don't know what CrossFit is, it's where groups of upper middle class people do age-inappropriate Olympic lifts while pushing each other beyond what is safe. But with a lot of these CrossFit gyms shut down, I wanted to share an exercise you can do at home that's going to keep your body fit and your mind on Christ. Now just take 2 of these 40-pound kettlebells and raise them straight out from your body, like a T, okay? Like a cross. And now just hold it there for a beat and slowly bring it down, okay? Now that is 1 Christ crunch. Now do apostle sets, which is 12 reps of 100, and you are good to go. And listen to Mega the Podcast. We've got a new episode every Sunday.
Set. Yeah. Go.
You gotta let the jello set.
Hey guys, welcome back to the show. Want to remind people our YouTube page, Sklarbro Country, tons of content, old cheap seat shows, old web series we're digging up. We got a treasure trove of stand-up. We've got some other stand-ups, other shows that we've done. We've got some appearances on other great podcasts and TV shows. It's all there.
Subscribe to it and then spend time on the page. We'd love to have you there and give you a little something, again, visually to take your mind off of. All the videos of these podcasts are all up on there as well. So check it out, YouTube, Sklarbro Country, subscribe, and then spend spend time on it. Also wanted to mention, someone was asking us who plays the music under the Spotify ad that we recorded at the top of the show, and that is our sound guy Brendan,
our engineer.
Oh my God, I love Brendan Lynch Salamon. He is fantastic, and
He created that original
piece of music. He's a great musician and a fantastic engineer and a good friend. So Brendan Lynch Salamon, great job.
All right, let's talk about this because this does kind of dovetail nicely in with the first story.
Yeah.
And I think we are, obviously they're starting to reopen some states. So we're at the point right now in this virus where people are ready to just ignore the rules and go back to their regular life, even if it's going to kill them.
Or maybe it won't.
Or maybe it won't kill them.
Knows?
But it's definitely worth the risk to go see a rodeo.
Yep. You could see Pam Minnick.
A rodeo.
Red Steagle.
I'm going to tell you right now. If you went to a rodeo in 2015, you were at high risk to pick up syphilis.
From a rodeo clown.
Because they're like koala bears. Do koala bears have syphilis? Or what do they have?
Chlamydia.
So look, if
Like
koala bears
93% of all koala bears had chlamydia.
and 93% of all rodeo clowns have syphilis.
There you go.
You're at high risk.
If you go today and you sit on a crowded bleacher area
And you don't wear a mask, I'm just going to say it, you deserve to die.
well, you I don't know if you deserve to die.
Maybe that's too
you
harsh.
get what you deserve. You get what you get, and you don't get upset. Is what that is.
I don't want you spreading it to me. I don't want you going to that thing and spreading it to
or
someone.
to a frontline healthcare worker.
How about that? How about that, you dipshit?
2,000 people in Shasta, California. Mount Shasta is actually quite beautiful.
They went out on Mother's Day
To their annual rodeo. This is a listen.
Look, nothing honors mothers more than a guy getting thrown from a horse. I think that is,
or someone, a guy riding a bull
and then roping a steer,
roping the kid. All
yeah.
right.
It's just like childbirth. So these 2,000 idiots ignored the state's orders about reopening, which, by the way, the state of California has started to do a little bit. They've dialed it back. They're now saying that it looks
some
like
businesses are allowed to be open.
Very
The parks and beaches are starting, but you got to still practice social distancing and wearing masks.
you are
and all
going to
that
have to wait longer before gathering as 2,000 people without masks in very close quarters in a rodeo at a rodeo,
You're going to have to wait 3 hours for your Red Lobster. That's all I'm saying.
which they won't want to do because they're dumb.
Right.
Look, it's stupid. It is stupid to gather in a group right now.
Even if you feel cooped
Just
up.
if you feel we all feel cooped up.
Yeah.
We all feel like we've had enough of this. This is not a punishment for you.
Yeah, it's about
This is not-
saving lives and flattening curves
This
and all
is
that other
not
stuff.
about you being like, "Hey, I stood in the corner and did my time for all the bad stuff." No, it's nobody's fault.
Even if you're in the clear, like just to save businesses, let's find a creative way to support them.
That's it. But to go out in a big group without a mask, that's another level of dumb. I'm sorry.
It's like a teenager.
Right.
It's like a teenager who's mad that you didn't let them have a phone.
Right. Or it's like a teenager who gets into a car accident and then they're grounded from driving the car.
Right.
And so then they get so pissed off that they get drunk and steal the car. And then, okay, so that's you're like, I'll show them. So now maybe you're going to die, or you kill someone else who's innocent.
Or you kill yourself. Which
Either way,
upsets people.
You showed them, right? You showed your parents that you're the boss by taking your own life.
That's exactly what it is.
And it's okay. That's what I see these people as. And just to see these people, so this event happened and the news covered it.
I'm sure it did.
And just to see.
Are the news people wearing masks?
They were. To see them interviewed and to see a guy
I've not
say,
seen the interviews yet.
The only law we're going to follow is God's law.
Yeah. God is telling you to put a mask on.
Grown people. These are not little kids saying
Yeah.
it's just crazy to watch them act like children and be at their. If it was an orgy,
Can't there be a Zoom?
if it was an orgy, I understand, but a rodeo,
Yeah. Can't there be a Zoom rodeo? Can't you do a rodeo on
of
Zoom?
course you can.
Thank
You watch it.
Yeah.
This is to me. This is it. We have a social contract.
If you're on a farm, let's say you're the rodeo and you're on a farm and you have that bull. Can't you have people set up a Zoom, like chance for people to watch,
Cameras.
charge people tickets to go see?
We're doing stand-up comedy on June 4th in a virtual comedy club.
Yeah,
That's what we can do right now.
You can do it. And by the way, you'd get people from all over the country watching that.
It's kind of exciting. Your rodeo can still make its money. These people are just like, I'm tired of being stuck inside. I did my time.
I'm tired.
The only law I follow is God's law.
That's like saying I'm tired of paying for my food. I'm just going to leave after I'm done eating at a restaurant. If
Right.
you don't pay, you're just like, I'm going to leave.
This is a social contract we make with the world. We follow
It's my
rules.
God-given right to eat, right?
Right. I didn't
no,
love
no.
it, so I'm not paying for it. That's what God says, eye for an eye.
Ain't no government's going to tell me I have to pay for it. That's the rule. You pay
I don't
for
pay for my food at home.
Well, you do.
You don't. Well,
You do. You do.
And also, you can't just take things.
Right.
Like that's what it is. Like we're at the point now where when the government says you are not allowed to go out and gather in a 2,000 group of people, how is going out and doing that any different from I'm not paying for this food that I'm taking from this store? It's not. It's you saying, staring a law in the face. It's not you not knowing. It's you staring a rule in the face and saying, I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
Well, if we all start deciding which laws we want to follow and which laws we don't want to follow, then we're in chaos.
Yeah.
We're in total chaos.
And we don't need to be in chaos.
And it hurts other people. It doesn't just hurt the people. It doesn't. Honestly, if it just hurt these 2,000 people, if we knew like Corona could just sweep through and wipe out all those people.
All right.
You know what?
We're not going to miss it.
What's the hurt?
This isn't your first rodeo, guys.
Right? So the problem is,
You
though,
know what you're doing.
You come out into the world from that and you infect other people and you spread it even more and you make us all have to wait even longer.
That's
the people
right.
who are actually
So that's
following
frustrating
the
to
rules.
us. That's frustrating to us.
It's frustrating across the board. Don't go to a rodeo. It's not worth it.
No. And by the way, you will be able to go to a rodeo in a year. That's okay. You can wait a year if we can wait a year for the NBA, you can wait a year for the
another
rodeo.
rodeo.
There you go.
Watch some old ones on YouTube.
There will be another
Watch
rodeo.
Cheap Seats Rodeo. We make fun of it nonstop.
There'll be another rodeo, guys.
Right?
Just saddle up. It's going to be a long time.
Yeah.
And you got us, and that's a good thing. Thank you guys for listening to the show. Thank you for watching this. If you're watching the video on YouTube, thanks for subscribing to the YouTube page and subscribing to this podcast. Go punch a water faucet, then go wash your hands. Stay socially distanced, but stay connected to people.
Don't get
Call your
infected.
friends. Don't get infected. Stay connected and be protected. Call your friends. Zoom your friends. Hang out. It's really important that we do all these things, and we love you guys. We'll see you tomorrow.
La-ti-da, la-ti-da-ti-da-ti-da, la-ti-da.